Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Family, woke up to bad news. Young Bleed, No Limit Soldier, Young Bleed, has transitioned. He was 51 years old. So TMZ broke the news, and they said that he passed away from complications from a brain aneurysm. So this is it. You know, last week, there was a lot of false reports out that he had died. And there was even more false reports this week. But yeah, it's official, fam. His son, Taji Raymond, hopped on Instagram to announce the unreal news that his father gained his wings on Saturday. So he gone. Son said, remember his father and his legacy, which he said he plans to continue. Taji, the eldest child of Young Bleed, said his father never dealt with real health issues, but confirmed he had high blood pressure and would take medicine routinely. He explained his fatal health scare that landed him in the hospital as a natural thing. Pay attention, fam. Pay attention. He said he confirmed that he had high blood pressure and would take his medicine routinely. He explained his fatal health scare that landed him in the hospital as a natural thing. So this is something that he was going through all the time. We'll come back to that high blood pressure. We'll come back to that. Young Bleed was born Glenn Clifton Jr. And he was rushed to the hospital just days after a well-received performance at the Cash Money versus No Limit event at Complex Con in October. The mother of his 10-year-old son, Tamika Long, aka Madame Meek, said that he had high blood pressure and a heart condition and was in the ICU and on a ventilator after suffering a brain aneurysm caused by internal bleeding. Young Bleed's mom confirmed his hospitalization was completely unexpected via GoFundMe she set up to assist with medical costs. As you know, Young Bleed helped put Baton Rouge on the hip-hop map in the late 1990s, gaining notoriety with his Master P collaboration on the 1997 soundtrack album, I'm 'Bout It. His 1998 album, My Balls and My Word, went gold and reached the top 10 of the Billboard 200 when it was released under Master P's No Limit label. He continued doing what he loved until his death at 51. You know, hey, can't ask for a whole lot after that, but just more time, right? If you can do what you love to do, you know, all the way to the end, you know, just 2 days after one of his biggest shows, his biggest performances, he tapped out. You can do what you love all the way to the end. I think that's what most people want, right? So let's talk about the connection between anxiety and high blood pressure. Anxiety and high blood pressure, hypertension, which is basically hypertension, are closely related conditions that can affect a person's overall health and well-being. When a person experiences anxiety, their body releases stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones trigger the fight or flight response, which increases heart rate, dilates blood vessels, and raises blood pressure. Chronic anxiety can lead to prolonged activation of the fight or flight response, which can over time contribute to the development of high blood pressure. And it says high blood pressure can worsen anxiety. It says, on the other hand, high blood pressure can also worsen anxiety symptoms. This is because high blood pressure can cause headaches, dizziness, and palpitations, which can trigger anxiety. People with high blood pressure may be more likely to worry about their health and their future, leading to increased anxiety. The medications used to treat high blood pressure can sometimes have side effects that worsen anxiety, such as insomnia or tremors. Say, fam, this is what I was talking about right here. I was talking to a buddy yesterday who was telling me that he was taking high blood pressure medication. I'm not finna sit up here and act like a doctor, fam. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But if it's me, I'm trying to get off anything that's maintenance. I'm trying to get off any kind of maintenance drug. Because all of these drugs have dangerous side effects. They give you one drug to deal with one issue, and that drug causes another issue. Reminds me of people who I've hired over time to do maintenance in my house. They're supposed to go in and fix one thing and they mess something else up. That's what those drugs do. Any drug that you're taking for a long period of time, if you're taking it for a maintenance drug, that drug is going to have you on another drug eventually. Because it's going to mess one thing up, where it's trying to get you straight over here, and it really don't get you straight over here. It just buys you some time. That's all it really does, is buy time. So it starts messing up other stuff, and then eventually it messes up the thing that we're supposed to take care of. So the goal should be to avoid these maintenance drugs. Now, sometimes, if it's too late, you got to go ahead on and use some of that stuff to kind of regulate, kind of try to get things under control. But once you regulate, I'm talking about I can't tell you what that time should be, but you want to get off that drug as soon as possible. You want to try whatever those natural remedies that you can try. You want to get on those natural remedies as soon as possible, whether that be vitamins, or exercising, whatever that is. That's what you want to do. You do not want to live your life where your medicine is your food. I mean, where you know what I'm saying? You don't want to live your life where your medicine is your food. You want your food to be your medicine. That's how I look at food. I used to look at food like just eating, and just eating didn't matter as long as it tastes good. I'm eating it, right? I'm eating. I don't do that anymore. I look at food like medicine. So, what is this going to do to me if I put this in my body? What is it going to do to my organs? What is it going to do to my blood? What is it going to do to my tissues? What's it going to do? What's it going to do to my skin? I need to know. That's how I look at food. When I'm driving down the street, why do people say driving down the street? I'm driving up the street. You know, I'll see certain restaurants and I think of those restaurants as killing fields. And I see people going in there and I think of those people that's sitting in line waiting to buy food at those restaurants. I look at them as like willing sheep going into a slaughterhouse. Like, don't have any idea what the hell going on. They're just lining up, going into the slaughterhouse. So yeah, when I pass by McDonald's, Taco Bell, even my beloved Popeyes, all I can think of is how that food is killing food. And I just ride right on by. I don't even think about it. I just keep on moving. Let your food be your medicine. Don't let your medicine be your food. I know people who have a whole nightstand full of medicine. I don't even know how they keep up with it. I don't know how they keep up with taking all that damn medicine. And these doctors should be executed for giving people all that damn medicine. They know ain't no way that's normal to be able to give people, to prescribe people that much medicine. You're a doctor and you got your patient on 20, 30 different medicines. That's insane. People want to live, everybody want to live, so they ain't trying to not take the medicine. Instead of taking 20 different medications, I'd rather take 20 different vitamins. You know, when you take your vitamins, vitamins don't have you make you all sluggish and jittery, and it doesn't upset your stomach, doesn't give you headaches, none of that type of stuff like the medicine does, all the side effects that the medicine does. So I'd rather take 20 different medicines. I'd rather take 20 different vitamins than 20 different medications. And so I know it's a pain to be taking all those vitamins, and it can get expensive. But medication is more expensive than medicine, than vitamins. Medication is way more expensive. And it's time consuming, going back and forth to all of those appointments, those doctor appointments, is time consuming. There's some people who are on so much drugs, prescribed drugs, that, making doctor's appointments has become a thing for them. That's what they do. Like every week, like you got some people that go golfing 3 times a week. Some people go running 3 times a week. Some people go to the bingo hall 3 times a week. clubbing 3 times a week, visiting mama, or daddy, or hanging out. They go to the doctor 3 times a week. Some people sit up and read and watch and binge watch 3 times a week. They go to the doctor 3 times a week. That's a lot of time out of your schedule. So my goal is to get in front of it and try to avoid it. And part of that also, fam, is like avoiding negative energy. Can't say that enough. Avoid that negative energy. Because there's people out there, fam, that we willingly allow in our lives that gives us nothing but negative energy. But we put ourselves around these people and we allow these people to be around us. So those type of people, I ain't got no problem. I don't care if they're family. I don't care who they are. I'll cut them off. I don't even think about them like that. Because why should I care about leaving them out when being around them could mess around and make me get left out, like left out of life? I ain't got no problem cutting them off. If you're just not joining, fam, we're talking about high blood pressure, stress, aneurysms, anxiety, all this associated with Young Bleed, who recently passed. So I guess some of the rumors were true. His son said he actually passed on Saturday, but then he announced it. He hopped on social media on yesterday to announce it. We didn't know what to believe because there was so many false reports out there. But his death has been announced officially. Give y'all some information on Young Bleed. Let's see what Wikipedia got on Young Bleed. Wikipedia ain't the greatest source for information because I even look at my own Wikipedia and some of that information is false. Starting with my name. They got my name spelled, they got my name as William. My name is Willie. William. I don't like William anyway. William sound corny. Willie sound gangster. Willie sound like somebody that's gonna do something to you. You know what I'm saying? It could be good, ladies. It could be good. But Willie sound like an outlaw. Willie sound busy. Yeah, I'm talking about Willie sound like he be doing stuff, Yeah, Willie. I don't know a Willie that wasn't an outlaw. I think every Willie I know, I'm talking about the men, because there's some women named Willie from way back, the old ladies, old black ladies. But Willie, I'm talking about, yeah, Willie sound like that dude. Willie sound like a lawyer dude too. Respect, honor, you know what I'm talking about? Valor, Willie. Yeah, man. But let's look into Young Bleed. This is what Wikipedia have on Young Bleed. Glenn Clifton Jr., also known as Young Bleed, was an American rapper from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Young Bleed started rhyming at the age of 9 at home in his native South Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was influenced by his mother, who read poetry to him from a young age, as well as by the music of Run DMC. That makes two of us. By his teenage years, Bleed had begun recording his rhymes, selling hip-hop tapes independently to friends on the streets of his neighborhood. He was eventually signed to a local record label. In 1995, he joined with 4 of his fellow Baton Rouge-based hip-hop artists, CeeLo, Max Manili, Javon, and Javon's younger brother, Chris Hamilton, to form the group Concentration Camp, with which he is still affiliated as of 2022. Let's go into his career. Young Bleed's first glimpse of national fame was his song with CeeLo, How You Do That, was remixed by Master P on No Limit Records. It was released on the 1997 soundtrack to Master P's film About It, which peaked at number 1 on Billboard R&B hip hop album charts in mid-1998. Then, with the help of Master P, he signed a deal with Priority Records to release his major label debut album, My Balls and My Words, in 1998. The album peaked in at number 10 on Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B hip hop album charts. Also reached gold and later platinum status in the US. Damn, boy, No Limit was killing it back in the late 90s. Yeah, mid to late 90s, man. You could walk into a record store, for you youngsters out there, you could walk into a record store back in the mid to late 90s and No Limit was everywhere. No Limit would have a whole rack by itself, just No Limit artists. So it says, the follow-up, My Own, was released independently of No Limit or on Priority. And although it charted on both the Billboard 200 and the top R&B hip-hop album charts, it failed to make similar waves as its predecessor. While in the process of recording his third solo album with Priority, Vintage, Young Bleed was released from his contract and forced to go independent. He joined Cibo's West Coast Mafia Records and released Rise Through the Ranks from Erna Tough Capo. In 2005, and Once Upon a Time in America in 2017. On September 23rd, 2008, Young Bleed released his 5th album, Off the Curb. It is a collaborative album with the up-and-coming rapper, looks like, what is that, Freeze? Young Bleed was signed to Strange Music. That's interesting. Shout out to the guys over there at Strange. A subsidiary called Strange Lane Records in 2011, and his first album with the label, Preserve, was released on October 11, 2011. On April 24, 2012, it was announced that Young Bleed had been dropped from Strange Music and signed to another label. In late 2012, he announced his newest album, All American. Is it All American? All American, and revealed release date for October or November 2012. However, the album was pushed back several times. It was due to be released in 2013, but as of 2021, it has not been. In 2016, Young Bleed announced that he was working on a new album, the album Living, was released on January 20, 2017. On March 26, 2018, Young Bleed made an announcement that he'd be releasing a new album entitled What a Life. It was the second project to be released under his Trapdoor Entertainment. Okay, so we learned something new about Young Bleed. Interesting. Again, this is Wikipedia though, so we gotta double check because Wikipedia is not the most reliable source. So take that with a grain of salt. Let me go into the comments and see what y'all saying. Brian Albert, 504. China Carter, what's up? What's up, Fred Cook? Ursula B. Bootney Fansworth, what's up? Donica, the author. Christopher Caldwell. Charles E. Nelson, what's up? What's up? Yeah, those late 90s, man, No Limit had it. Wasn't nobody out working a No Limit in the late 90s. Nobody. It was damn near unfair how they was out there killing it. Every artist that dropped went gold or platinum. Herschel Johnson, T. Gallagher, Stanley Washington, Torian Terry, what's up? Got Eric Hopkins, Nicole Marks, K1 Daily, Tally 90, Nola in the house. Yeah. Taylor Nubia, what's up? Yeah, these yeah, Taylor, yeah, you're right. These politicians won't be held accountable for allowing these people to put chemicals in our foods because they have written laws to protect themselves from being held accountable. They have the lobbyists work in the middle. So the lobbyists go to the food killers, work out a deal, get the bag, go back to the politician and cut the politician a check to the politician's foundation or the politician's law firm or the politician's construction company. And then next thing you know, everything good. Politician makes sure that the lobbyist partner who owns business A receives a nice fat multi-million-dollar contract. And in turn, they donate to his campaign. And it's just a cycle. It just goes on and on and on. So they'll never be held accountable. And I don't see a politician being bold enough to go in and hold anybody accountable. I don't see a politician being bold enough to just go in and say, hey, okay, enough of the chemicals in the damn food. Enough. Okay, enough of the pesticide in the food. Enough of the mercury in the food. Enough of the hydrogen in the food. Enough. They're not going to do it because they're making too much money. And they never cared about the people in this country. None of them. You too, white folks, they don't care about y'all. Y'all be thinking because they look like y'all that they care about y'all. They don't care about y'all. Y'all think because the police give y'all a break that they care about y'all. They do not care about y'all. They need y'all to pull off the scheme. Just like they need black folks and Asians and Latinos to pull off the scheme. They don't care about none of us. Get that through your thick skull. So we got all of these technological advancements going on. We know more today than we've ever known. We're supposed to be the society is supposed to be even more intelligent than it's ever been. We got AI, we got cars. We're so intelligent that we can make cars drive themselves. We're so intelligent that we can push a button right here in the US and send a device clear across the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean to hit a target thousands of miles away. Like we can put an address in and that device will go straight to that address and destroy whatever is located there without risking human life on the other side. All of these advances in technology, but no advancements in medicine. Like no advancements in the stuff that really matter, like cancer. None. I mean, y'all ain't got all of these years, all of this billions of dollars that go towards cancer research. What the hell y'all doing? Seemed like to me, the return on the investment ain't the ROI don't work out here. It ain't, the math ain't mathing. I say fire everybody. Fire all of them. Because we ain't getting the results. I stopped donating to the Cancer Society, American Cancer Society. I stopped donating. They used to get me all the time. I used to donate to specifically because of breast cancer. And my mom was a victim of breast cancer. So, I was passionate about that. I would donate year after year after year after year after year after year. And one day I just stopped and said, man, hold on, where in the hell are the results? Where are the results? What are they doing with the money? I finally realized it was a big old scam. I ain't giving them people my money. They got the money. Whatever they want to fix, whatever they need money for, whatever America needs money for, America finds the money. They always come up with the money. Why am I giving them the money? If you want to help somebody, help these people that's on the ground, these activists, these charitable organizations that are on the ground that don't get a lot of funding. Help them. You're gonna make a much more difference helping those type of charities, and they're gonna be a lot more appreciative of your money. These big old organizations like the Red Cross and Blue Cross and what they call it, Salvation Army. Man, these people don't. These people got people on their boards, on their executives making millions of dollars a year. Government gives them millions a year. They don't need your money. Go to the doctor. Immediately, they're going to try to give you some type of medicine for whatever reason. You know why the doctors give you medicine? I mean, besides the fact that a lot of them got the hookup when they prescribe medicine, they prescribe it to a specific pharmacy or whatever. A lot of times they get kickbacks for that. But they also prescribe you medicine because they know people just want the pain to stop. And so when you go to the doctor and they prescribe you something, you feel like the doctor did his job. You know what? Doctor going out, okay, look, I'm going to give you this. Look, you're going to take it X amount of time. And it kind of makes you feel good. Okay, doctor going to give me something to help me out. The doctor going to help me out. So it's a psychological thing. So when he give you the medicine, you automatically think it's going to work because the doctor prescribed it. And you feel grateful to have your doctor because, he's looking out or she's looking out for you. They're going to prescribe you something no matter what, whether it works or not. They're just going to prescribe you something. And they'll tell you, well, if that don't work, come back and we'll try something else. We'll try something a little stronger. If it's too strong, we'll bring it down a notch or something, right? I had a situation about 2 years ago, just a little over 2 years ago. I was coming from Memphis. I was on the plane, and about 30 minutes before landing, I had some heart palpitations, and I had never felt that before. And I had a shortness of breath. Yeah, these people had to call emergency vehicles and all kinds of stuff. So when the plane landed, but there was doctors who happened to be on board the plane who checked me out and and kept me calm. I get to Houston, I go straight to the cardiologist, right? Hold on a second, man. Yeah, so I get to Houston and I go straight to the cardiologist. So he puts me, they hook up all of the little, all of the wires and stuff on you, put them everywhere, they everywhere, right? Put me on the treadmill. I go through all of that, do the scans and all of that type of stuff, do the x-rays. So when he's done, he tries to prescribe to me some medicine. I don't take medicine for nothing. So I was like, man, I say, do I have to take this? Because if I don't have to take it, I don't want to take it. And that's when he said, well, we can kind of like monitor it and just see, right now you're fine. Maybe, stay away. He told me to stay away from the, because I told him what I had to drink and eat the day before. And he told me to lay off the caffeine. That's what he said. He attributed it to the caffeine. And he told me to avoid caffeine. And he also told me to avoid alcohol because I told him I had a drink the day before. But it was a concoction of something. I went to this restaurant in Memphis and it's one of those house special drinks. So I didn't even know what it was. They just told me, this is a great drink and this is one of our top sellers. So I want to try it out. So I tried it out. I don't even remember what was in it. But he told me it could have been something in that drink that exposed me. So anyway, I told dude, I say, man, if I don't have to take the medicine, I don't want to take the medicine. And at first he was like, well, you could just take it for a few days and we could just see how things. I said, no, I don't want to take it no days. Do I have to take this? He said, no, you don't have to. I say, well, am I going to die if I don't take it? No, I don't think you're going to die if you don't take it. Well, I don't want to take it. I'm not taking it. Let's monitor and see what's going on, so let me do what I'm supposed to do. Then I come back. I'm talking to him like that. See, when you're dealing with these doctors and stuff, man, you got to take stewardship over your own health. You got to take stewardship over your life. You can't just be letting these doctors tell you anything and prescribing anything to you and you just going with the punches. You know what I'm saying? You rolling with the punches. You can't do that. You can't be afraid to take control of your health. It's your body. You only got one. It's your body. That doctor see hundreds of patients a year. You only got you. You only got one patient to worry about, and that's you. So you gotta know more about your body than the doctor know about your body. So yeah, I took control. And that was 2.5 years ago, and I never had to take medicine. And I feel fine. But I did lay off the caffeine. I have not even had caffeine in my body in 2.5 years. So it absolutely did something. It absolutely did something. And I used to get palpitations all the time. I didn't know that was like a contributing factor. But yeah, laid off the caffeine and everything got cool. And one of the hardest things for me to do was get off that Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola was my favorite drink. And I should have been stopped drinking Coca-Cola. I should have stopped drinking Coca-Cola the moment I saw what it did to that battery erosion, the battery corrosion. If you pour Coca-Cola on a battery, it'll clean the corrosion around the the battery connections around the post. Did you know that? I was like, whoo. So if it can do that, to a battery. Imagine what it's doing to your insides. Imagine what it's doing to your blood pressure, your blood tissue, your organs. Yeah, that Coca-Cola is a reminder. Everything good ain't good for you. You know what I'm talking about? Everything good ain't good for you. Yeah, that's a Willie D quote. You can take it and run with it. You know, just make sure you give me my credit along the lines and you start hearing other people say it. You know, make sure you know what the source is. You know what I'm talking about? You know, yeah, you know, everything good ain't good for you. Connie Ed, what up? Connie Harch, Felicia Bryce, Ray, I see you. What's up? Good morning. CJ Spratt, Kenyatta Ali. What up, Marcella Smith? No Lies Told. Robert Shields. I don't know who Bobby Bryce is, but Dr. Yaki is my guy. And he is extremely knowledgeable. Extremely knowledgeable. They say that a young bleed passed from complications from a brain aneurysm caused by high blood pressure. Caused by high blood pressure complications. For those of you who want to know, this is how high blood pressure causes aneurysms. High blood pressure exerts constant pressure on the walls of blood vessels. Over time, this procedure can weaken the arterial walls. Creating a bulge or dilation known as an aneurysm. The weakened walls are more susceptible to rupture, which can lead to a stroke or other serious complications. The risk factors. In addition to high blood pressure, other risk factors for aneurysms include smoking, family history of aneurysms, age, more common in older adults, certain genetic disorders, and obesity. So these are the risk factors, y'all. These are the risk factors for aneurysms. High blood pressure, smoking, family history of aneurysm, age, certain genetic disorders, and obesity. They should add crack cocaine because from what I understand, The doctor said that was a contributing factor for my aunt who had a brain aneurysm, and it crippled her. It crippled her at the age of, she was in her 40s, like early 40s. So let me see, late 30s. Yeah, she was late 30s, early 40s. It crippled her, and she was paralyzed from the like neck down. So let's talk about prevention. Controlling high blood pressure is crucial for preventing aneurysms. Other measures to reduce risk include quitting smoking, maintaining a healthy weight, eating a balanced diet, and managing stress. Now, I know some of these things sounds like real tasks for some of you, but I think you'd rather spend your time at home than at a doctor's office. You'd rather spend your time doing the things you love to do than sitting up in a doctor's office week after week after week after week after week. The best remedy for illness is prevention. I know people that have high blood pressure and they've been warned, hey, don't do this, don't do that. You know, lay off this food, lay off that food. And they've thrown caution to the wind. They just be eating whatever they want, drinking whatever they want. And you know it's gonna happen, but what can you say? It's their life. So don't that run your heart a little bit, like when people that, you know, you see people that you love doing things that's destructive to their body, and you can't really do anything about it. You kind of like just watch them self-destruct. Yeah, you want to stay out of those hospitals, fam. You want to stay off those drugs. Once you get in the hospital, they got you. I don't trust hospitals. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust the nurses. Hey, no disrespect to the good ones out there, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the culture. I don't trust it. It's too many ways for people to give you uh, too much medicine of a particular medicine. Is too the wrong medicine. Not give you your medicine at the right time. The negligence at these hospitals are off the chain. They're at an all-time high. I don't want to be nowhere near a hospital. I do not want to have to rely on medication. So, see what I got right here, fam. I keep this on. I keep up drinking this water, popping them pills. I'm talking about vitamin pills. When I wake up every morning, first thing I do, after I brush my teeth, wash my face, I grab some water. And I Let that water massage my organs. Be on it, man. You got to be on it. You got to care. You only got one engine. One engine. That's it. This is the most important engine you'll ever operate. How you gonna put premium unleaded in your vehicle? In that vehicle that has an engine, and you ain't even put regular unleaded in your body. You just put lead in your body. Nah, fam. Got to be proactive. It's also good to have a spouse, fam, that's on the same page as you. It's easier. It's easier if you're in a relationship to have a spouse, to have a significant other who is health conscious. Because that means that they'll buy food and they'll cook food that's health conscious. And if you order out, they'll order food even when they order out. They'll be more health conscious. If you see them eating healthy, it'll probably persuade you to eat healthier. Eric McFarland, what's up? Yeah. I need to get y'all on my Facebook group, fam. If you're from Houston, I want to send you the link to my new Facebook group. I started a new Facebook group for all things Houston. So that's what we'll be talking about in the group. All things Houston: sports, politics, business, music, community, culture, arts. We're gonna be talking about it. That's what we're doing. Let me shoot y'all the link right now. Let's see. All right, the link is in the description to join my new Facebook group. Hold on, I messed that link up. There we go. Let's try that. Facebook.com groups. Yeah. So the link is in the description, fam. If you're from Houston, go ahead and click that button right now and join the Facebook group. Lynn Durham, what's up? He said, my grandmother used to tell me that. Tell you what. Nagu says it's hard to relax in a stressful world, though. You're right, but a lot of it, the world ain't really stressful, right? The world is not stressful. If you, the world is not stressful, people are, right? Because right now, if you walk outside your door, you go and you take a walk in the park, if you just walk in the park, or you go running, you feel good, right? Obviously, if you run into a Karen, you might have a problem. It could be stressful. You run into a couple of uncivilized mutts, like Ahmaud Arbery did. That could be a problem. That could cause a lot of stress. But most of the stress that we're subjected to is our own doing. So that right there could be avoided. Most of it can be avoided. It's the people that you hang around. It's the job that you refuse to quit, right? You got to think about, what do you spend most of your time at? That's what's causing you the stress. Wherever you spend most of your time, who do you spend most of your time with? How are they contributing to your stress? So, and most of the people that listen to this channel are grown. So it's up to you to take control of your life. It's up to you to take control of your energy. Take your energy back. If you're around people that stress you out, even if it's on the job, it may not be the easiest thing to do, but you can find a new job. You can do something different. You got a next door neighbor that's just unruly, ain't gonna act right, just don't want to get along. Maybe they're loud. Hey man, it ain't the easiest thing to do, but move. Or figure out a better way to negotiate with your next door neighbor to make them respect your space. But it's something you can do about it. You ain't got to just take it. If you're online and you're seeing a whole bunch of stuff that stress you out online, it's as simple as doing this. Close the damn app. I hear people talk about being bullied online. How the hell you gonna get bullied online? Bullied online? All you gotta do is hit a button and you offline. All you gotta do is not log on. If it's somebody in a group that's bullying you, leave the group. If it's somebody on Instagram that's always saying negative stuff about you, get off that Instagram account. Say, fam, these are things that you can control. Now, sometimes in life, life is just going to life, right? It's just going to happen. And you're not going to be able to necessarily avoid stress. But it's how you manage that stress, which will determine, the outcome for you. So, for example, your kids, something happens with your kids. and you're stressed about it. Well, you keep on waiting. Well, you don't manage stress by just ignoring something or drinking or smoking yourself out, eating yourself out. You deal with those type of things with, you know, with critical thinking and conversations, right? You come up with a real strategy. And then if you keep waking up, then the problem eventually get further and further behind you. But even how you deal with stress, even the way that stress comes in our life, you can get stressed out about a project at work. You can get stressed out about having a bully supervisor or a manager, and that can stress you out. And by the way, I can't stand you some of you out there, y'all some bullies. You bully managers and supervisors, I can't stand y'all asses. So even with dealing with them, if you got a bully manager or supervisor, that ain't gonna stop. So probably the best thing to do is try to move around, try to get you a new gig, because these bullies, you can't negotiate with a bully. You cannot negotiate with a bully. A bully will laugh at your pain and spit in your face, and then punch you in the face again. They care nothing about your feelings. They're uncivilized. But you have to learn the art of compartmentalization and processing events. Because you remember, there's a saying, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. So all of us get stressed from time to time. All of us experience depression. But some of us, we process the events in our life that cause us depression. We just process it better, and we get over it. We get past the depression. We get past that hump sooner. So some of us, we can think about something, and it's all mental anyway. Sometimes we can think about something. You ever be just doing good in life, everything cool, and then you think about something, and then now you're depressed. You was just happy 2 seconds ago. Now you started thinking about this, and now you're depressed. So just like you thought about that and it made you depressed, you can unthink that and move on with life. So it's all about how you process it. Some people can't stop thinking about a certain thing, so their depression lasts longer. It's all about how you compartmentalize things and process it. That's all it is. So I experience depression periodically, but it don't last long. It might last a few minutes. Sometimes it might last a few days. I think probably the longest I've ever I was ever cognizant of experiencing depression was probably for about 3-4 weeks, and I can't even remember what it was about. You see that? That just goes to show you how insignificant some things are that we put so much into. I don't even remember what it was. Watchman, what's up? Who is that? LaKendrick Franklin, what's up? Agav Bond. H.R. Bartholomew. What it do, Jerry Brooks? Ephraim. What's up, Terry Harris? Kendrick Ballard. All right, fam, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Appreciate you joining the live. Let me put this link in here again to join my Facebook club. Club is called Houston Speaks. So if you live in the Houston area, you want to be a part of this club. You want to jump in early on the movement. You don't want to be a bandwagoner now. You want to get in early and say, I was there from Jump Street. All right, fam, enjoy the rest of your time. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. R.I.P. Young Bleed. No more talk.